Okay, so parts laid out here for issue number 9 of the Fast and Furious Dodge Charger. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the other side suspension parts for the chassis, the right hand side parts this time. Yeah, all checked off, all that. It's quite nice, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's well moulded, a lot of metal parts as well. So yeah, hopefully we go together okay. This will be the build then for issue number 9. Okay, bringing over the chassis part, and now we're going to be fitting some covers to this. And it's just identifying, I guess, which one to start with. It's this one, just kind of straight, flat one, and then it's identifying where they're going. Put it the same way around as in the picture. Kind of goes in there. Yep. Yes. And 2 cm screws are going to hold that in place. Quite difficult to identify kind of which way around these ones go. But it's got like a raised section that goes facing upwards. It kind of goes in that area there with an AM screw. Okay, that's it. I think that's one of the main engine mounts, engine support mounts. This one, which is the curved one. Now this one's got a little pin. I'm assuming that's like a kind of a locating pin. Difficult to kind of work out which way around this goes. I guess it's going to go that way. That locating pin in that hole. Yeah. 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 And a CM screw. Okay, they're in. Okay, so those 3 covers are kind of in. Okay, we've got this torsion bar, it calls it. This one's a bit straighter. The end, what does it call it? The wide end of the torsion bar goes into this hole and then it's fixed in place with a DM screw. In. And let's turn this over. You've got this part, which is the torsion bar bushings. So for torsion bar bushing, that's kind of going to go in there. The torsion bar is obviously going to go into that hole there. Yep. And then that's held in with a IM screw. So making sure you get the right screws with this one. There's lots of different types of screws. Okay, that's what that looks like. Just one side now. I'm going to be assembling for the suspension. This part. This is so difficult. Okay. So identify mainly where they go. So this has got a kind of a gap in it, and I think this kind of goes in there. Yeah, that goes in there. What do I call this? kingpin. So the kingpin goes in there, yeah, and the shock absorber piston goes in there, and both held in with FM screws though. Okay, I had a bit of a moment there, had a bit of a kind of, I got confused because I saw that this piston didn't have a hole in it, and I thought that the spring had to go down. I misread the instructions. I thought the spring had to go down that piston, but obviously it doesn't. That piston's what's going to act on the spring. So I'm back in the room again now, and I'm going to be putting all this on like I was. Okay, now what I'm going to do is put the bump stop limiter, which is this piece of plastic, that just kind of gets pushed onto that hole in the suspension arm. Push that on quite hard, that's quite difficult to go on. Now we've got this, what does it call this? Knuckle arm? Yes, so we've got this knuckle arm, which is another piece of kind of metal part of the suspension. I believe that goes in like that. So through the kingpin, and then an EM screw. Okay. And this is the bit that I had the trouble or the mistake in. So I thought that the spring goes into there. Well, of course it doesn't. It goes into this, on this other part that we assembled in issue 8. So that was just my mistake. Okay, so now you put the spring in there. This goes in. I'm just trying to make sure I go the right way around. So it kind of goes in like that. Then you've got this part of the knuckle arm. Okay, this is 2 screws in there, and they go in with CM screws. And you have to try keep everything in place. Right, I don't know. I'll bring the other part over and have a look and compare it to the other side. Okay, so I think this kind of goes on, yeah, like that. This spring is very annoying. You know what, I'm just going to put it on. I'll worry about the spring later. It's doing it in. Yeah. I mean, it's in, but probably fall out again. Okay, we've now got this part from, I can't remember what issue it says, from issue 7. So we're going to turn this upside down. Okay, so now we're going to put this roll bar on. Quite difficult to see or envisage where you've got to put this. I'm assuming that's one way round. Sorry, turn it over. Sorry, my bad. And then it's kind of saying KM, a mixture of KM and CM screws. So KM are these top ones, and CM you've got one. Oh no, hold on. It's really difficult to see. Okay, yeah, so these two are KM, and then you've got 1, 2, 3 CM. So I'm going to put these in lightly to start with anyway. The KM one's going in first. So they're the 2 KM ones gone in, and I think it's CM for the other 3, yes. So there's 1 CM just going in the top here. Okay, it's a bit of a pain, mainly that central one. DP, need a DP screw. Okay, this is yeah, it's quite difficult for you to see, I guess, but the anti-roll bar comes down and goes into a kind of hole, the free hole on the knuckle arm. And that's a DP screw that's going to fit that in. Yeah, I may have missed a step. Did I miss a step? It did. But I feel like I have. Yes, I have an EM screw goes in there. Yeah, I did. I missed a step. An EM screw. I missed an EM screw going in there. I'm looking too much at the pictures and not reading the magazine, so I'm going to have to take that off. Yeah, all that stuff I just done. I'll just take off. Okay. Okay. Woo! Yes, that was not easy. I found that quite difficult. Mainly my fault, to be fair. Oh my god, that's very loose. Why is that so loose? That one go on a bit tighter once the wheel goes on. I'm going to have to look at that because that looks a bit loose. So we'll look at that now. think when you've got the wheel on it, all kind of holds it in place. Kind of clamps it on, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, yep, that's it, done. As I say, I didn't particularly enjoy that. Okay, so that was issue 9 done there. Yeah, not exactly the easiest one for me, but eventually I got that done, and that's the chassis. Issue 10, we've got coming up steering and right suspension. Steering and right suspension. So, yep, some more work on this chassis part. That will be coming up soon, so keep an eye out for issue 10.